about It. It. Alright? So if you're a wrestling fan, you most likely got that reference. If not, then you probably thought it was crazy. But let's talk about It. Not the clown, but the IT guy, okay? So, IT, which is the movie, right, is actually managed to not be the worst movie of the year. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even put it in my top 10, but I gotta admit, this is probably one of the most dumbest movies of the year. And boy, that list is actually stacking up quite high. Now, overall, there are a couple of things that I really enjoyed in this movie, but there are a lot of things that I really did not like in this film. I think some of the best parts about this movie is kind of like the first 15 minutes, just in general, and I feel like that's actually where it succeeds the most, for me personally. Like, at the very beginning, you see this guy, Ed, or whatever it may be, they talk about how privacy is kind of like an illusion, and nobody really has privacy. Privacy is not really a right, given or whatever it may be. I thought that was kind of cool, and I think in their own way they were showcasing, and the first 15 minutes at least, that it was showcasing that a lot of these guys are like technically sound. You give away your passwords or wherever it may be so easily that you don't even think twice about it. Like the cable guy, you probably give you your Wi-Fi password or whoever it may be. Some guy at Best Buy's, you probably give him all your information to kind of repair your computer. You don't think twice about it, but all these guys got your information, and that shit could be kind of turned really against you as a disadvantage. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. Those opening conversations between Mike Pierce Bronson and Ed, the IT guy, pretty much. Those were actually the best parts in the entire film. And I thought, I was like, okay, sure. Granted, maybe the dialogue kind of sounds like a rough draft from Mr. Robot, but it actually is quite good, actually. I was actually quite impressed. Now, after those conversations, sadly, that's where the movie starts to take a little bit of a dip. First 15 minutes is actually quite intriguing, but then it starts to take a little bit of dip. So, brace yourself. There's going to be some spoilers involved here right now, okay? So, Mike pretty much has a very PowerPoint presentation, okay? His PowerPoint presentation is kind of fucked up. He sends in this IT guy, which is our main villain. He pretty much saves the day. He invites this dude that he does not even know his name until the conversation is over to his house with his wife, with his daughter, just because he fucking did his job. Not saved the day, he did his job. And he wondered why this guy got kind of clingy just to begin with. To me, that didn't make any sense to invite a complete total stranger to your house. And then after that, he started to fucking give him Wi-Fi passwords. He let him inject illegal shit inside of his car. And I'm just like, dude, you don't even know this guy. He's introducing him to his daughter, that's 17 years old, by the way. Which is just like, what the hell is going on here? This movie just takes a dive into the complete dumb. And on top of that, more spoilers, so brace yourself, is that this whole plot really starts to get even worse. When he invites him, or uninvites him really, to a party, he fucking leaves, the stalker dude, starts to sing karaoke in a goddamn car to the most pussiest fucking song I've ever seen to pump yourself up. And then he starts to cry and starts to ruin Mike's life, aka Pierce Bronson's life. And that's where we get our very, very predictable stalker movie. And that's where the fucking dive starts to happen. Look, they have a nice, like, hacker background that kind of like blind you from the fact that this is a pretty much a stalker film like Fear or The Boy Next Door. And the reason why I bring up those two, even though I like Fear, but mainly The Boy Next Door is just kind of like a very shitty, predictable, stalker film. And that's exactly what this pretty much is. You know exactly where this thing is going. You know it's going to be a big shootout. He's kind of ruin his life. Bronson's going to kind of take revenge. They're going to have this big showdown. That's exactly how it goes. Simple as that. Spoiler alert, he doesn't really die. But just in general, I just feel like the ending especially, it just kind of really gets dumb. The best part of this in the movie by far, at first I was going to say it as the IT guy, but it's not. It's a villain from like Ghost Protocol, though he was actually the best part in here. There's a lot of weird stuff that I thought was kind of like awkward, but I did think they did a good enough job of showcasing that hacking could be a very serious thing, which obviously most people know. I just think that they kind of take it a little bit overboard to the point where maybe it gets a little bit too stupid. And it does get dumb and dumb and dumb as it goes along. But he starts hacking cars like he's fucking Penguin from Batman Returns, if anybody remembers that. He's hacking, I believe, planes or whatever it may be. It's just like, what? And Pierce Bronson's character is by far the dumbest fucking guy that's dealing with like tech-savvy stuff I've ever seen in my life. He's like a pilot or whatever it may be. He owns a big company. How can you own a big company and you not know technology? To me, that just doesn't make any sense, just in general. And here's the thing about this movie. This is the weird thing about this film right now, okay? Do you like 17-year-olds fingering themselves in front of a camera inside of a shower? No? Good, because if you would have said yes, Chris Hansen would have been right in front of your door. Now, I don't know why they did that personally, just in general, and the girl isn't actually, 17. They could have made her 18 in the movie, but I just thought it was a little bit weird to begin with. But overall, this movie was slightly entertaining. I thought it was actually kind of good. Unfortunately, I just felt like it became a little bit bland and predictable to the most part, and the guy that played the Stark, he did a decent enough job, and Pierce Bronson, I gotta be honest, I feel like the guy was at his weakest here. That dude is not bringing. There's this car scene in here that feels like it was like right out of Bond. That felt like it really did not need to be in this movie. But overall, towards the end, they had this big showdown. It ends, whatever it may be. I'm going to be looking at some notes very quickly. But yeah, there's not really anything left to say. Also, I am really tired of the text on screen stuff. Where they show the text like, well, gotta meet you here, email. I just feel like that's not really cool. If this was the first movie to do, I feel like it could have worked well, but it didn't. But then that is what it is. The director is John Moore. He's directed such classics like Behind Enemy Lines and Max Payne. So, yeah. But either way, that's just my thought. The movie is not the greatest thing in the world, but I did slightly find myself kind of laughing at how stupid it actually got. And you might actually find some enjoyment out of it. But boy, are you going to be yelling at the screen and just being like, Pierce Bronson, you are the dumbest fucker ever. I mean, you are double stupid. That dumb. Seriously. But either way, that's just my opinion. I'm the guy in the hat. You could comment, subscribe, and like, or you could dislike, which you probably will because you don't agree with my opinion. But that's just me signing out.